we invite guests to come by and get high with us here in Nevada's original Cannabis Lounge. So let's get into it. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the NuWu Sessions podcast. We are back at it, another one. I am your host, Tom Nieves, and I'm happy to be sitting here with the team from Nature's Chemistry, Andy and Rhianna. How are you guys doing today?
Marvelous.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Marvelous is a good response. I don't think I've had that one yet, you know? It's cool. It's as a Marvel fan, you know what I mean? It's Marvel us. I'm here for it. So thank you guys for being on the podcast. Very excited to talk all things Nature's Chemistry and get things started. But first things first, let's cheers. We got some can of cocktails that you guys already know from these episodes. These have 10 milligrams of THC per drink. I'm sipping on the Blue Dream. This guy's got the Sunset, and Andy's got the liquid marijuana. Cheers, guys. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Salud.
God bless.
This is my favorite part right here, you know?
Delicious.
How's everything taste, guys?
Outstanding.
Amazing.
Shout out to the team. My boy Harold over here just whipped up some can of cocktails. These things are amazing. You got to come try them here in the Sky High Lounge, only at NuWu. But let's start talking about you guys. So, for those who might not be familiar with the Nature's Chemistry brand, Nature's Chemistry is a Nevada cannabis brand known for their locally owned approach, we're starting off here stuttering already. Pesticide-free cultivation and weekly harvest schedule. Their owner, Andy Hitchcock, has been a longtime friend of the NuWu team and has even been a featured speaker at the Chamber of Cannabis Business Leadership meeting here in the Sky High Lounge in April of last year, where you shared insights on industry challenges, safe banking reform, fostering local business ownership in cannabis. So, obviously, you guys are no stranger here to the cannabis plant, but I want to take it back before all that, and I want to talk about how you guys introduced cannabis. What was your first time smoking weed like?
Crazy. Scared.
Crazy?
Yeah.
Scared?
Young,
Yeah.
like 14, 13 years old.
Okay.
Lots of friends who older siblings were ahead of schedule.
Right.
So we got advanced into that, and I remember, having to go to school high for the first time ever.
Oh, it was before school.
Yeah, it was before school. And, it's funny because I remember it so vividly because the first time I loaded a bowl, I was loading into a wooden coffin pipe.
Oh, wow.
The pipe was a coffin, and
Wow.
it had all the carvings, and,
Gotcha.
everything was homemade. And then I think a couple times after that was in a sprinkler, that was
Okay. The little MacGyver
the
pipes.
MacGyver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, surreal, and had a great time. I mean, it just...
There you
wow,
go.
I like this plant.
Still sold all these years
Here we
later,
go.
huh? Before
Yeah.
school. That's definitely a hell of a way to experience your first time getting high, though.
And they're
but-
like, oh, don't worry about it. You'll be okay, And I made it through the day. I remember sitting in first period going, wow, this is what it's like to be high.
Right.
And it probably was 10% THC.
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
That good old fashioned like brick weed, right?
Yeah.
Swag at its best.
Yeah, dude.
Swag finest.
How far we've come, right?
Oh, my
So
God.
far.
Hell yeah. No, that's a wild story, man. Thank you for sharing that.
Just
That's-
a really cool thing. And, Lisa D'Angelo, God bless her. I haven't seen her in years, but it was at her house. Her mom and dad were gone, and here we go.
There you go. All right. Shout out to Lisa, the homie right there.
We're going to be late.
Right?
No, don't worry about it. We'll be okay. No, we're going to be late.
Hell yeah. There you go. Wild, man. Well, hell, it couldn't have been too scary. You're here all these years later. I mean,
No.
a coffin pipe, though. That's a little...
Yeah.
That's pretty wild, though.
It's just stuck out in my mind
There you go.
ever since.
Vivid memory, right?
Yeah.
Right on. And what about you, Miss Rhianna?
I was also very young. I would say we went on a spring break to Florida, and my friend and I, we had no idea. We actually did something very illegal and took it with us on a plane and got there, rolled up a joint, didn't know how to roll a joint at all, sat right outside the front door of her grandparents' house that we were visiting, had
wow.
no idea what this was going to be. So, terrible joint, smoked right in front of the front door, and after that, luckily we did not get caught. So we ended up going for a really long walk and just kind of walking off. We didn't know what else to do. We were like, we can't go back in the house after this,
Get caught.
but had no idea about the smell or that we were going to, how
Right.
long the effects were going to be or any of that. But also it turned out to be a lifestyle for me as well. So
There you go.
yeah, a little too young, but
I mean, starting on spring break, you know what I mean? Those are cool couple stories there,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Spring break and then before school, man. Balls on this guy, though.
So
I don't know,
long.
that's- I did that, honestly, one of my first days of working as, like a teenager in high school. I showed up high. It was kind of accidental. Like, it was after school, smoking with the homies, and I didn't remembered that I worked that day because I wasn't used to having a job. So like I got home and I think, you know, my mom or someone was like, "Oh, you're gonna get ready?" I was like, "Oh shit." So I showed up my first day ever of work high, and that was kind of scary because I'm just like, "Oh no, my boss is gonna think I'm a freak. I don't know what to do here." Oh, and I got through it. I mean, it was Subway. It wasn't anything like major, you know. But by the end of it, I was like, I'm actually glad I did that because now I just set a par. The bar's really low for what they expect from me because they just think I'm just quiet and awkward. So it's fine. You know?
That's great.
Well, thank you guys for sharing that. So
Yeah.
are you guys
So
still?
I just have a question. You
yeah.
said it was at Subway?
Yes, sir.
Which Subway?
Oh, so I grew up in Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah,
Okay,
but
never
back
mind.
home.
Different story then. Different story. Okay, never mind.
Around
never
here, I won't talk about Subway. I don't want to get us in trouble here. But yeah, no, that was one of my first jobs. I did that for years in high school. You know, shout out, Eat Fresh. You know, gang. A lot of sun chips, if you will.
Yeah.
Love sun chips.
Yeah, they're the best. The loudest bags ever known to mankind, but they're amazing. You know. So, are you guys still avid consumers? You guys smoke every day?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. What's a typical session look like for you guys?
For me, it's just a couple hits before I go into the house. You know.
Gotcha.
Then I'll sneak out and go a couple hits before bed.
Is that like a
You know,
vape pen or a
edibles.
bong or what
no,
kind of?
usually bong.
Usually bong. There you go.
Flower bong.
There you go. Glass guy right there.
Yeah.
I know. I like a good bong hit. You know, it gets you where you're trying to go.
Definitely.
Quick and efficient, right?
Definitely. And then on the weekend, if it's available, you know, which is always available if I'm there. But
So you're the plug. What do you mean available? Right?
well, just the setting, you know, sometimes the setting's not appropriate.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
We're
yeah.
still have that stigmatism about us. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, pot smokers. Oh, they're over there. You know, what's that smell? What's that smell? You know?
Yeah, I
just-
know the type. Yeah.
So it's a challenge sometimes to where you want to smoke and
Right.
who's around and who's going to be concerned that you are. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, you always
They
got to
don't
be
get
worried
it.
about the optics, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be cordial to everybody. You don't
100%.
want-
Respect, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. No, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
You know.
And what about you?
I'm also a bong girl.
There you
I
go.
love to take bong rips, and I love RSO. RSO is like my
Okay.
favorite way to consume, or edibles, but I prefer RSO if I'm not smoking flower, pipe, bong, or RSO.
There you
Yep.
go.
Yeah.
Nice. How'd you get into
Super
RSO?
simple. I had a friend when I first joined the industry. It was a really long time ago, and I had a friend who had cancer. He had bladder cancer, and so I got really involved in learning about all the benefits of it.
Gotcha.
So for me, it's not just about being high; it's about the therapy. So I like to take it for preventative measures. I've also had some health issues in my past, and so for me, it's a way to just help keep my body in homeostasis on the inside between that and CBD. So that's my preferred method. I don't take medicine, other mainstream medicine.
Pharmaceuticals and everything like that, yeah.
I don't prefer that. Weed is my go-to for all things ailment related, and so I use it as a just to keep myself healthy.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've had a guest on the podcast who's been like a daily RSO user. I've been there myself and, you know, well acquainted with it. That's one of the reasons I just wanted to ask because it's
Yeah.
definitely, RSO is for the diehards, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Speaking
it's
of
heavy.
being too high, it's something that'll definitely get you where you're trying to go. But no,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I know I actually got started in cannabis in production, producing RSOs and hashes and things like that, like years and years ago. So similar story, you know what I mean? Once I learned the science, the medicine behind it, it's like really kind of fell in love with the process. So,
Yeah,
no.
absolutely.
So the typical session where we already kind of described that, you know, we got Team Bong here, which I like that 'cause I'm a Bong guy as well. Do you guys have any go-to strains that are just like your favorite you have to have?
You know, anything. I'm more of an indica guy than anything.
Team Indica? There you
Yeah. You know, I've had some sativas that just give me too much anxiety.
Right.
Fanta will do that to me sometimes, you know. But I like Fanta. You know, sometimes in the morning my day off, I'm smoking Fanta first thing if I can.
There you go. Right
know?
strain at the right time, right?
And then, you know, till about noon, you're just buzzing. You're humming around.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, you do it too late in the day, though, it's a bad thing. You're
I
like,
can turn the...
it's 12 o'clock, I need to go to sleep.
I
Yeah.
can smoke the Fanta and turn the honey-do list out in like 2 hours. And
There you go. There you go. Hell
Otherwise, it's an all-day event.
yeah. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Some more circumstantial, the right strain at the
Yeah,
right time, right?
definitely.
Hell
Absolutely.
yeah. No, that's
Absolutely.
awesome. And what about you?
Yeah, Ghost. For me, I love it. Perfect balance hybrid. Ghost Train Haze. I'm
Ghost
so
Train
sorry.
Haze?
Yep,
Okay.
Ghost Train Haze. And Blue Hash Plant is my ultimate favorite NC strain. I'm very big fan of fruity weed. I love how fruitful it is. So it's very high in myrcene also. So I got my GTH for that midday and
There you go.
PHB for the end of the night.
And you guys do have a
Hash
fantastic Ghost Train Haze.
Yeah,
I've tried it
Ghost.
several times. That was one of the
Thank
strains
you.
that made me kind of fall in love with the cannabis plant early on in the industry. That one's definitely a
She's
slapper.
marvelous
I
for
love
sure.
that.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So before we start trying some Nature's Chemistry product,
She's a staple too, by the way.
Is she? Ghost Train?
She's been in the garden from day one, and
I figure as long as you guys been doing
Championing
it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, it's definitely working for you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's cool because I mean the other people that I knew that were doing it back in the early years or whatever, it's all fallen off. A lot of people, you know, overhauled their genetics, but it's cool when you can see one of those classic ones that just stay
Yeah.
in the lineup and be a staple. So
100%.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. So again, before we start diving into some Nature's Chemistry product, what were you guys doing professionally before you started working for Nature's Chemistry?
I was in real estate. Still actually have my real estate license.
Okay,
Yeah, 32 years in real estate.
very nice.
So it's been a venture where you can be in real estate and then also venture into other things.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys who definitely do that. You know, wear multiple hats. You know, but that's cool. How long were you doing that before founding Nature's Chemistry?
From day one. I got
Day
out of
one.
high school
Gotcha.
and got my real estate license when I was 18 years old,
Gotcha.
and been doing it ever since.
Very nice, right? It's working for you, right? I got you.
I got 3 deals in escrow right now.
Hell yeah, there you go. There you go. Right on. That's beautiful. And what about you,
Very
Rhianna?
cool. I used to work in transportation, and so I ran operations for a large company here in town, and then switched gears, got the opportunity to join our industry and switch gears, and the rest is history.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. That's the right place at the right time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, this is probably a good segue to maybe start indulging in some cannabis products. I know we've got
Fantastic.
tons of goodies from you guys, and we have Veronica here queued up with us ready to rock. So let's get into it, right?
All right.
Miss Veronica, how are we doing today? Doing great.
Outstanding.
Thank
Ooh,
you.
we look at all that magnificent
Ooh.
stuff. Beautiful. Yeah, it's a little unstable. We ran out of time. Sorry, guys. Thank you, Veronica. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So we have a ton of stuff here on the table. We got the Cosmic Eighth. We got some new products that I don't know anything about. So why don't you guys, for our viewers at home, let us know what we got here on the tray?
So a lot of people don't know, but we recently took over MPX,
Yes, sir.
and that extraction facility is now home to Nature's Chemistry extracts, and all of that particular garden that was associated with MPX is now another extension of Nature's Chemistry, and our genetics are in that
So it's
garden
expanding.
now. Yeah.
Very nice. Good for you guys.
And we've actually, last week we had our first harvest out of that garden, and
Nice.
everything is projected and slated to go to fresh frozen, so that we can create very high-end extracts,
Exciting.
live resins and rosins. Also, we're going to be doing an infused product, several different disposable options. We're trying to figure out the best hardware. Flower's been our game, so
Yeah. Yeah.
we're quick studies and quick learners. We brought in who we believe to be an excellent extractor. He was formerly with Mammoth, Ryan, and he's now our extractor.
Mr. Jesus the Jeweler.
Mr. G's the jeweler.
He's been on the podcast. I
Yeah.
can't remember the episode number off the top of my head now, but no,
Yeah.
a great friend of NuWu and the podcast. So glad he's,
Very cool.
with the Nature's Chemistry family now.
we
That's
were
awesome.
Us too.
super blessed to have a talented individual like that at the helm, and we're expecting big things out of him and out of the
100%.
garden and the extract world, and we're just going to keep rocking and rolling.
Yeah, very
You
exciting. That's
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I'm excited right now just hearing you say this. So
She
I know, like you
mentioned-
said, flower's been your guys' game.
It-
You know,
100%.
what you guys are known for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's an adage in extract is quality in, quality out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're really excited, thinking that we have really good flower going in, so it's going to create really good product coming out. And some of the strains, we talked about like Ghost Train Haze.
Mhm.
We've always collabed with partners in the marketplace.
Yeah.
And we've sold our products, our fresh frozen and our biomass, to various different quality companies.
Right.
And now this product's going to go towards our extracts. So you're going to have a chance to see strains that we wouldn't ordinarily sell
Mhm.
to someone else because of maybe it's a less yield.
Right.
Well, if it's in our garden, then we can make that concession and still have it monetize accordingly, So you may see more like live rosin of Ghost Train Haze, or
That's exciting.
I'm really pushing on Blue Hash Plant to come to rosin. Some of the strains, I guess you can't. They don't turn the color that you need it to turn in order to go into an extract. You
Right.
know, things that I'm still learning a lot about extract. It's not my wheelhouse, if you will.
100%. Yeah, big learning curve there. No,
But
for
neither
sure.
was cannabis 8 years ago. So
There you go. There you go. All right. He's like, we'll get her figured out. We'll get
we
her
will
figured out.
figure it out. We
Very
will
nice.
figure it out.
Very nice. Well, yeah. So we have an eighth here. We got some of these looks like infused pre rolls, and we have some extracts and some disposables. So where would you guys like to get started?
So let's talk a little bit about this, the infused pre-roll. One thing that's very important to Nature's Chemistry and what we want to do is we want the flower to enhance the infusion. We don't want the infusion to enhance the flower.
Hear what you're saying? Yeah,
I want
absolutely.
the flower to stand out more than anything, but yet have that high potency that people are looking for.
Yeah.
And so we've elected to use basically a THCA diamond extract in the flower. So when we decided that we're going to do infused flower, one thing that was really important to us was to be able to have the flower stand on its own rather than the extract overpower it or be, a botanical terp or something like that.
Yeah, something that's going to ruin it.
Yeah, that's not really what we're after. We're looking for the flower to stand on its own and something that will be able to increase the potency while not distracting from the flavor of the flower.
Gotcha.
And so we've selected to use THCA diamonds to infuse the pre-rolls. For example, this pineapple Fanta that I have here, it looks like it's a 72% THC and 83.72% cannabinoids.
Wow.
So it's going to be,
That percentage difference is telling.
We're definitely not going to smoke this because I can't be running around.
He said, I got shit to do today, man.
We'd be in deep shit if we smoked that today. Same with this Ghost Train Haze. So,
He said they're all sleepers, right? We're in trouble.
I mean, yeah, exactly. The strawberry banana, however, we will smoke. We have that in our rosin. If you can hand me that rosin,
Yes,
we'll
sir.
talk about that one.
Absolutely.
Completely solventless. We feel that that's really the exceptional part of the market where people are at. We've tried to come up with a very classy, simple design and packaging and whatnot. We wanted to, again, the product, Nature's Chemistry from its onset. We've always been about what the patient experience is. We weren't really about the packaging and, don't get me wrong, we want to have nice packaging, but at the end of the day, we really care about what the patient.
You're trying to align yourself with quality.
I want the
Yes.
patient to appreciate the value. They put their hard-earned money into a brand. They better get what they paid for.
And that's how you keep return customers, right?
I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. If the customer's not happy at the end of the day, you're not doing your job.
Yeah. No, but like we were saying at the top of this, before we started recording here, I think the packaging looks really sleek. I think you're right. You guys are known for having exceptional flower. Not to say that the packaging is secondary, just like you're saying, but you want to make sure that your efforts are getting put in the right place right
Yeah.
here. And I think this still looks really good. This still feels like a boutique product, and it looks amazing, by the way.
Awesome.
God bless. I mean, even the flower jars, we had these custom made. When we first started, if you remember, Tom, everything was in Mylar.
Yep. Yep.
And then we made a conscious effort. Yeah, it cost us quite a bit more, but we feel that the glass keeps the flower a little bit longer.
Yeah.
You
Especially
know,
here in the desert.
Every jar has a seal in it. We haven't had to go to the Bovita route where you see some companies put
Yeah.
Bovitas and whatnot. We've had the luxury of having the flower move before it gets to the point that it's stale.
There you go. That's where you want to be, right? That
and-
sweet spot.
Yeah.
And you know what? And we're conscientious to harvest dates and whatnot. Rhianna's an absolute Nazi when it comes to that. She wants the menu fresh at all times, and she does the damnedest job.
Right.
to make sure that there's no old flower on our menu
There you go.
at any
Yeah.
time. I mean,
First in,
it's-
first out, right? Absolutely.
and I'm not, and Rhianna knows this, and we're not opposed to BOGOing a flower or promoting it out or whatever we have to do to disposition that flower. I do not want stale flower in the facility. It doesn't benefit us. It doesn't benefit our vendor partners.
Yeah.
It doesn't benefit the consumer.
Absolutely.
They don't want that, you know.
Yeah.
So figure a
That's
way
good.
to get it out of the building.
Yeah, aligning yourself with quality. Again, sometimes you have to make those moves as a business, you know what I mean? You're not always going to have heaters, you know, they're not always going to have the best product that you're the most proud of. And sometimes you roll with the punches and
You
just
do.
be ready to pivot. I mean, I don't think you'd be in this industry as long as you have been. I know myself being in here going on 8 years now. It's rough, you know, so you got to roll with the punches. You got to be ready to pivot and just put your best foot forward. And as long as
Continually
you're aligning
changing.
yourself with,
Always.
you know, integrity forward, put your best foot and just trying to align yourself with quality. I think that's what you guys have always done a great job of, right?
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. You know,
Yeah.
the partners that we collab with, we select them specifically, you know.
They're
And-
cherry picked for a reason, right?
Yeah, you know, they got to have the same analogy that we do.
Right.
You know, they got to be conscientious about the patient. They got to care about the patients. You know, it's not about money. Obviously, you need money to stay afloat and pay taxes and everything else. Money's important, but at the end of the day, you have to have integrity and you have to be in a business that you love and a reason that you're in it. And
Absolutely.
So-
No, that's a beautiful
I mean,
message. I appreciate you
know?
sharing that. Usually, these
Yeah.
are things we talk about in like the back half of the episode when we're really high and we start talking about like the future and just like the ethos of it.
yeah.
But no, this is great. I do want to back it up though, because I want to just talk about Nature's Chemistry and give a little backstory to everything. So, what was the story behind the actual founding of the Nature's Chemistry brand?
So let's back up and talk a little bit. So there's 4 partners. Myself, my best friend since the first grade. We were
Wow.
5 actually.
Oh, geez, there you go.
Yeah. First grade we met at St. Anne's right here on Maryland Parkway.
Vegas locals too. Very nice.
And still to this day, you know, one of my best friends. And then being in real estate, I had who's our head grower, Jason. He joined our real estate team in '99. That's when the first time I met Jason.
Gotcha.
And Jason was you'd go to his apartment and he had plants everywhere. You know,
Gotcha.
kind of like,
He's the grower.
exactly. This guy's a grower, you know, and God bless him, his brother, who's our CEO, and the how do you explain Ari, Rhianna? He's the grinder,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay,
He's
there you
the
go.
grinder.
Does
He's
all the operations.
the paperwork guy.
Yeah.
He's very analytical, very scientific brain. Has a degree in healthcare and in science and whatnot. And
Good
what's
thing to
re-
have in this industry.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, and one thing that I'm very proud about. So Ari came up with the regiment. You know, we in the beginning we had all these consultants because we were never a commercial farmer. We were never commercial cannabis grower.
Right.
And we had all these consultants giving us their opinions and, oh, you need this and, oh,
Yeah.
you need that and so on and so forth. And Ari's looking at the plants and he's like, well, the plant's yellow, buddy. Where
Yeah.
it's not, no, it needs more of that. It's yellow.
Right.
It doesn't need more of that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so we figured out real quick, and Ari figured out real quick. He's like, these consultants, they don't know shit.
Right.
I mean, this is crazy. And, you know, and then some other things happened, and one thing led to another. And we wanted to, when we got in this business, we were in it to do everything above board.
Gotcha.
And, you know, one of the consultants, they were trying to do some underhanded things, and one thing led to another. And Ari, you know, basically said, no, you got to go.
Right. Cut it out. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, you can't jeopardize our license and
Yeah.
everything that we work so hard for. And, you know, we put X amount of dollars in on building our facility from the ground up
Of course. Yeah.
for the specific purpose of growing cannabis. And Ari took the reins and came up with the formula that we feed our plants every day.
Very nice.
You know, I like to say it's the Colonel Sanders 9 herbs and spices.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
That's secret sauce, right?
our regiment and what we feed our plants that give us this love, Ari developed himself, and we haven't changed the recipe.
There you go. That's working.
And
right? If
it
ain't
just
broke, don't fix it, as they
produces
say.
it doesn't matter, if 2 growers have a strain, we're both growing it.
Yeah.
Our strain grows better.
There you go, right? Our plants are happy, right?
Yeah, they're
They
happy,
are.
you know.
There you
And we're very thankful for that, and Ari's big part of the reason why that is. And then Alex, who was my best friend, he's just the general when it comes to our facilities and maintenance and handling everything and the marketing. And we all have our specific roles that we do in nature's chemistry. And it's been challenging. It's been rewarding. It's been we love it, you
Right.
know. And if it wasn't for that, I don't think we'd still be
Yeah.
in this industry.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
add to that. One of the best parts and most amazing parts about our team, and I think why they're so successful, is because our 4 owners work hand in hand with us every day. When we need something, we call them. When I need something from Andy, whether it be operational, sales, deliveries, any of the things, he is there for me. He answers all my calls. Same thing in any other facet of our business. They are all equally running a different part of our business
Right.
and making sure that section of the team is accountable for it. We're a very small team, and so we come to work every day with the mindset that you have to keep pushing, you got to keep fighting for that top spot, right? But I think one of the things that helps us succeed in that mindset is that our owners are there with us.
Yeah.
They're getting dirty with us. They're listening to our problems. They're not having to hear it second, third hand, or you don't get a response 2-3 days later.
Yeah.
Action is immediate. And so I think that's one of the things
That's cool.
when they originally made this conception, is that them being fully integrated
Yeah.
is what leads to our success
Yeah,
as well, or
and-
contributes to our success.
You're invested, and you're showing that you care by showing up every day, and you're leading by
Yeah.
example by being there on the front lines with your team, right? And that,
And I have to
That
tell
means
you,
a lot,
Tom, I have to
does.
tell you, it puts a lot of added stress on the Rhiannas of our team. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because we're there every day.
Right.
We see what's going on. We demand excellence. We want, their best performer, and she's the general now at the facility. So, she's putting pressure on people.
yeah.
We're not there to make friends or play games. We're there to do business and to do a
Grow
great
exceptional
job.
projects, right?
And
Products.
exactly. And you have to have pride in what you do. And if you don't really survive in
Yeah.
nature's chemistry.
Right.
It's short-lived because we're there and we experience it on a daily basis. We
Right.
know who the players are. And that's one thing that I'm very proud of. We have people that have been with us 8 years.
There you go.
I mean,
that's a testament to itself, That's
Yeah,
not
the
something you see a lot
majority of my staff has over 4 years tenancy with me. I think all the grow staff is over 4 years for sure, maybe
We've got some
5.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
So-
that means that they feel the value, they feel seen and heard, and that
Yeah.
they feel like they're part of the movement,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we made a conscious effort. When we got involved, we took on a boatload of debt. We didn't have the money, and that's one of the things with us. We were such underdogs. Everyone told us, "You don't belong. You got no chance. You shouldn't be here. You don't. Why are you wasting your time applying for the license?" And
Right.
we heard all the banana stuff that people want to say.
All the naysayers, right?
Yeah, you know what? And we always felt like, listen, we're Vegas natives. We all grew up here. We all graduated high school here. 2 of us graduated UNLV. Ari and Alex have the UNLV degrees.
Right.
Jason and I were the entrepreneurs. I got my real estate license when I was
Right.
18. And, to hear that, oh, you don't belong and this and that, it gave us even more drive,
Yeah, that's how you know you're doing something right.
And I love to mention this because a lot of people don't understand this. Nature's chemistry, the NC stands for no chance.
Oh, wow.
So
And that's great. I was about to ask. I'm like, so what's the story behind the name? No Chance. That's cool. That's awesome.
we must have heard it 50 times. I
Wow.
mean, you guys got no chance. You know, everyone. I mean, you have the Gary Prems of the world, the Fertitas, the Randy Blacks, the big namesayers in this town with all the money that were after these licenses. And believe me, they all got them too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we realized, you know, we had the naiveness to say, oh, we're going to go for all the licenses. You know, oh, we're going for vertical, you know.
Right.
And we quickly realized that we didn't have the political clout or the money.
Right.
So we said, you know what, let's step back. Let's put our best foot forward on one license.
There you go.
And we said, well, if you don't have flower, well, you ain't got anything.
It's true.
So let's go after the flower. Let's go after a cannabis flower license, cultivation, right? And we did all the thing at the commission and made our presentation, and we all wore suits. And, you know, when the time came, and lo and behold, they voted, and they ended up, everybody who applied for a cultivation got a license. So by default, we got a license.
There you go.
I like to think that on our merit and our qualifications and everything that we presented is why.
Yeah.
But the actuality was everyone got a license who applied.
Gotcha.
Right. So, but that was only for the cultivations. It wasn't like that for the production and the dispensaries.
All the other licenses.
They were real cutthroat. I mean, there was some underhanded things that went on between the back doors and, you know, on how these people ended up with all these licenses.
Right.
You know. And anyway, so we said, let's get flower and let's put our best foot forward with that. And let's just strive to be, you know, one of the top cultivations in town. And we started building the building in 2014, 15. And we finally had our first harvest in 17.
Oh, wow.
And it was medical.
Yeah.
I remember going to, you know, not having our power bill, but having turkey bags of flour. Right. And a couple of dispensaries were open at the time. And I'm sure you know Ryan Bondis. Ryan was at the time the buyer for the dispensary. And I drive over. I was delivering. I had my Chevy Avalanche was our delivery vehicle that was certified by the state.
Oh, wow. That's wild.
I had a Harbor Freight safe in the back seat with a chain in it.
That's
wild. You know, it was, and I delivered with a Chevy Avalanche, you know, for
That's
the first. Did you come?
No, I was after.
You were after? Yeah.
That's a sight.
Yeah, that is wild.
First 3 years, I delivered in a Chevy Avalanche.
Just I'm in the trenches. Let's go.
Filled the back seat of the Avalanche. Anyways, I remember specifically, and God bless Ryan. I go there and I walk in. I think I had Ghost Train Haze and Purple Train Wreck, Green Crack. You know, some of our early strains. I had 3 turkey bags with me, right? And we're sitting there, and there's a couch in this spot, and I sit down and I bring it, and he's like, well, what do you got? And I said, I showed it. Never met him.
Right.
First time I met him. And he opens up the first bag and he smells it and he's looking at it and this and that. He goes, well, how much of this do you have? And he's like, I go, well, I think I got these 3 and I think I got like 3 more. He goes, perfect. I'll take them all.
There you go. Nice. First sale done like that, right?
So I remember leaving there and I'm driving down Decatur. Bro, I got the power bill. I got the power bill.
Wow,
we can pay
man.
the power bill. I mean, you know, it's just.
Yeah, underdog story. I think you said that from the top. That's what I'm hearing. And it's cool because, I mean, Vegas isn't known for that. It's known for its glitz and glitter, you know what I mean, winning big and all that. But there's a lot of really hardworking individuals, you know, especially Vegas locals, you know, I mean, that are just, you know, cut from that cloth and are really out here just working hard to put their best foot forward. And that's what I'm hearing. That's a cool story. I mean, that first sale, you got the power bill, huh?
Yeah.
Is that lean?
Yeah.
But I mean, and you
16
said that was
grand that we didn't have. Let me tell you.
Yeah, dude. And that, you said that was in 2017?
Yeah.
Pre-rec, so
Medical.
before July. Yeah, man. It was a different time. I was delivering weed around that time, and not an Avalanche with a safe in the back, but definitely some wild times. It felt magical in the medical days there, where it was so new and people didn't really know what to expect with the plant. You know, it's changed a lot. It's grown a lot as it needs to in order for us to keep moving the needle on this forward. But that's a cool story, a compelling one to
the
be like,
golden
man.
era of cannabis.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
when
100%.
all the transactions, that we did back then was in a turkey bag.
Yep, I remember that.
Now every transaction's in a jar.
Yep.
I mean, our carbon footprint now has increased big time.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm not 100% a fan of, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yep, it is. We're all playing that game, right?
We're actually thinking about starting a recycling program for the jars.
I think you guys would crush with that because, again, since you guys are a boutique product, you're already going after a clientele who's willing to spend a little more on some good flower. And I know, as someone who's been in this industry a long time, I'm sure you guys are similar in that regard. I have so much cannabis packaging at home in my garage that I'm just like, this is terrible. I hate it, but it's kind of a necessary evil. It's a way to just, I guess, keep things clean and safe and
True.
a liability factor. But yeah, definitely the carbon footprint, like you said, it's huge there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
well, hey guys, we've been talking for a while. We haven't smoked any weed. This never happens on this podcast. This is my one job is to get us high. Let's.
Good thing we're drinking these. I guess.
Yeah, you're right. Got a little rosy in the cheeks, but I know we were talking about these pre-rolls. We can put some flour. We got a bong. We were already talking about that.
Let's skip all the flour and
Just go right to extracts.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's do it. I'm here for it, guys.
Let's do that.
So we have these Dr. Dabber XSs. This is a collab we did with them here that you can only get here at NuWu. Have you guys tried the Dr. Dabber XS?
I have not.
They are awesome little devices. As Daniel Marshall, I don't know if you know our friend Daniel over there, Dr. Dabber, he described it on the podcast we did with them as a sipper, not a ripper. So you're not expecting like a big old like lung kicker like you're going to get on quartz with a torch, but you're definitely going to get a nice low temp flavor profile here. So I'll load a couple of these up and let's try them out.
Nice. And I'm gonna open these up while we're talking about it to showcase these a little bit. So these are.
So while we start diving into this here too, this is a fun one, right? I heard about your 5-2 finger rule. Can you please explain that for our viewers?
Yeah, definitely. So, because we have an analogy that says, if I don't want to smoke it, how can I sell it?
That's a good.
I'm
good
really conscientious about what we put out on the street. I mean, it's everything to me. You know what I mean? And so I came up with this analogy, I like to say, that she's got to have these 5 characteristics is she's got to look good, she's got to smell good, she's got to taste good, she's got to get you high and keep you high.
There you go.
Otherwise, get it out of my garden.
Yeah, what's the point, right?
And then we have 2 more bullet points. As a grower, she's got to have 2 more characteristics. She's got to be a yielder. She's got to be a resilient bitch.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, right?
She's got to be.
Got to weather the storm with you.
She's got to weather the
ride or die.
storm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, if the filter's clogged one day, and you didn't get as much water as you thought you wanted, you know what I mean? I can't have you die on me.
Yeah.
You know, because some strains, if they don't get water one day, you come back, they're gone.
True.
They're dead.
He said, "We're out here in these streets. We got to be together. We got to take the punches together." So.
Absolutely.
No, that's a good just quality standard. It's simple, easy to understand, but not too overcomplicated where you might forget.
Right.
So I just fired this up here. I'm gonna pass this here, ladies first. So as soon as this vibrates, it's gonna turn green. It's gonna be ready to hit.
All right.
It's literally just press and hold. She's just melting that wax right there, which smells amazing.
It does.
I do want to
smell
comment
amazing.
on this here too. This is the modified banana live resin batter. Is what I just loaded in this one. I figure we'll start with that and move on to the rosin. The terps on this are crazy, dude. Your caryophyllene is at 18.68 milligrams per gram.
Yours.
Your myrcene is at 12.03 milligram per gram, and then the humulene is at 8.48 milligrams per gram. You got 6.9% CBG. That's CBGA. That's crazy, dude. These terps, this is insane. Cannabinoids, huh?
Yeah.
That was nice.
So got that. Tasting good. Modified
Tastes
banana.
delicious,
Getting where you're trying to go.
yes.
I figure for this one we'll load with the rosin, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, that's what I'm holding out for. Let's go.
Definitely.
Yes.
I haven't had it yet.
Right? Oh, okay. So this is a
Modified
real-time
banana.
reaction here on the podcast.
I want the first hit to be that.
There you go.
I'll come
This
to
is
that
great.
after.
So before I even serve this up, this is strawberry banana live rosin batter, 16.3 milligrams per gram of caryophyllene, 8.7 on the myrcene, 18.22 milligrams per gram on the limonene, 3.36 CPGA. That's crazy.
I didn't realize it was that high
73.9%.
Oh shit!
Yeah, dude, this is crazy numbers. Oh man, it smells exactly like what the name says. So this is exciting.
This is one of my other favorite strains, SBA in general.
Okay.
The BHP or Blue Hash Plant and Strawberry Banana are two of our fruitiest strains.
100%.
And love them.
I've definitely had both several times. So you guys have had those in the lineup for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Those are really cool, Dr. Dabbers.
That hits really smooth too.
I love it.
All right, Andy. So I got the button. Like I said, as soon as it vibrates, it's going to be ready to hit.
Okay.
Just warm it up, melting that wax down for you.
Marvelous.
Man, Ryan did a great job. This smells and looks amazing. The color. Oh man, I'm excited for you guys to be in the extract market, really, because I think you hit the nail on the head when we were talking about this earlier. Of being, you've been known for your flower, you know, and if you're going to do it, what's going to complement the flower more than anything, you know? I think our heady audience is definitely the extract consumer at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, we're super excited too because, you know, we don't get to determine the results of our flour when it comes to concentrate in the past. And so now we can really control that and give out
the QC.
Carryo. Yeah. Hello, Carryo.
There you go. A little spicy, a little peppery. I do have a love-hate relationship with Carrie. I mean, it's a nice flavor profile. So my favorite strains always sit there, but it's like it's not that kick in the lung that you always get. It's spicy.
This
pepper,
modified banana made my eye water.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Good. A little teary-eyed there.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Andy's reaction. This is great. I'm so glad we're doing this on camera.
So good,
dude. Yeah,
so good.
I can't wait. This looks great. I think out of all the episodes we've done, Andy has played this right. He's like, no, I'm not going to smoke weed. I'm going to wait to the end. I want to save the best for last. Yes. This is great. This is great. And that reaction's everything right there. So,
yes.
Wow.
Nice.
How's it taste, Andy?
Amazing.
Shout out to our boy, Jesus the Jeweler, Mr. Ryan.
My first time trying it.
Wow. This is cool. Thanks for sharing this moment with us here on the podcast.
That one too.
We'll let it up there. We can do another round of both of these. Well, I got some more questions for you.
Wow.
So let's see here.
That is so delicious.
You guys harvest 52 weeks a year.
We do.
Yes.
That is crazy, right? So my question for you is like, how do you still keep your boutique vibe while maintaining that par of harvesting 52 times a year?
Well, that's actually benefits that.
And that goes to what we were saying earlier about the whole FIFO, first in, first out.
In addition, we are with our facility. When we bring down smaller amounts per week, instead of doing gigantic harvests, we are able to do that. We are able to keep our product fresh. So, flower comes down, it's packaged like within 2 weeks, it's already starting to head out the door. After it's dried, cured, then it goes to testing. 2 weeks later, our packaging team is packaging it, and we're sending it out the door already. So that's kind of our plan. So we always have right behind. At times our team has to package the order, so they already know the numbers they need to hit. I mean, we really try to keep it as close as, or as soon as it comes down from harvest, we want it ready to rock and roll and get out of there. So that's what helps us. It keeps us also driving because we know that we've got more weight coming down behind it. So it keeps the pressure on all of us to continue to do our part so we can get the product out the door. Our patients, our partners, and their patients can have the best quality product. Even to go back to something Andy said earlier, we want it first in, first out, but we also feel that way about our partners. If our partners have old stuff sitting in their stores, that does no good for us either. Right. So we partner again with them to say, how can we move that? Because it affects us both. And we would like for the patient to have the best experience. When he said excellence, that is literally our goal each and every time. We're always shooting for excellence. So 100%. With those perpetual harvests like that, it keeps the pressure on us to keep shooting for that same goal.
No, that's amazing. It's a well-oiled machine is what it sounds like. You got a great team. You're turning and burning them. And if you're not setting those pars, like, okay, 52 harvests in a year, how can you really dial things in, But it sounds like a testament to all you guys' hard work,
Yeah.
Having smoked 95% of my life flower, now that we're having extracts, starting to dab in more extracts. Always did the vape stuff, right? But now to have the pure form, it's unbelievable the difference.
I'm going to serve you up one right here. I know because we got you one of the live resins. We'll get you a rosin because this is exceptional. Like very excited for you guys and the collab that now that you guys have our boy Ryan there under the fold doing some exceptional work for you, just aligning with excellence, you know, like we were saying before we even started rolling the cameras, like, man, this is going to be a stony episode. You guys, man, we were out with the heaters, you know? So I was reading that you guys donate 100% of apparel proceeds to the Wounded Warrior Project and also have a team that's over 50% women and 70% diverse. How do these elements of culture and philanthropy shape your brand?
Well, I'll say, so in our work environment, I think we all have lots to offer. We have the gentlemen who own our company, and then we have directly under them women leadership. We have a lot of women throughout our facility, as well as a very diverse group of people. I think we complement each other. We all come from different backgrounds. We're all the way from, early 20s up into, over 40s. Myself being one of the older people there, but there's a wide range of people. So they're learning from us, we're learning from them. I just think that the experience from all areas coming together, everybody there believes in our brand. We all have the similar vision,
Right.
and we all believe in what we do. We know that we have great medicine for people, and we all believe that we want our medicine. We all feel wholeheartedly we want our medicine to always maintain its quality and integrity. So we're similar and we're very different. We're similar in that we have the same belief, the same goals, but we all come from very different places, different ages, different experiences. People there, they start at the bottom line level. We promote within, we help them grow. If they want to, of course, try to look for opportunities to uplift our staff. So people don't want to leave, like he said, but I think ultimately that works really well for our group, works really well together. As far as the Wounded Warriors, one of the great things that I love about working at NC is that the 4 men that I work for are always giving back in all kinds of ways, never even spoken out loud, and if you didn't know, you wouldn't know, and if you do, you do. And so that's one of the things I really love. The Wounded Warriors project, we like to contribute to them as much as possible. Andy actually also took it just one more step further. He'd like to have a veterans wall at over at our other spot, so when our veterans visit us, they get pre-rolls, things like that. And so he's always keeping them at the forefront of his mind, and the rest of our team as well. But
it's a beautiful approach and just a way to go about it and to give back. Again, circling back to what you said earlier, like no chance, like helping the people that also feel similar way, because it's definitely, it's something unique to our industry. So that's
it's just
cool way to give back.
It's a great industry. And we have excellent vendor partners. We've been here for, the beginning. We love the product. Other great brands, places like NuWu. I mean, look at this.
Yeah, the OG lounge here in Las
Big
Vegas.
shout out to NuWu. Look at,
yes.
And you've been here with us for a long time, I know,
So-
supporting us, so we appreciate that.
the dab is so the dynamic to me has just shifted because now we have this plant involved, right? And that rosin has made me feel a certain kind of way to where I'm more cerebral right now,
There you go.
honestly. So what's really cool, what's happening is never before done. Where have you been able to have a podcast?
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's what we're trying to do here is just highlight our uniqueness,
So
right?
the plant, I mean, we got to talk about the plant, and that's where we need change. We need people out of jail for this plant,
Right.
number one. I mean, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
We're over here enjoying this, paying taxes, above board licensing,
Yeah.
employing people, giving jobs,
Yeah. And there's
paying federal tax
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
The tribe, God bless, they don't. We certainly do. And so do every brand on this wall.
Right.
We pay a lot of federal tax,
Yep.
And
And we still have people again rotting away for it, which is
got to get them out of jail.
that's the mission
this ain't
critical, right?
about this ain't about politics, party. I don't give. I really don't give it. I don't care.
Yeah.
This is about American people are in jail for.
Yeah, this plant that is employing people that are paying taxes,
Come on,
and
man.
feeding their kids, and
Now listen,
Absolutely.
we know what a crime is. We know if Rhianna, we got caught with 25 pounds going to Oklahoma.
Yeah, you can't say I didn't know.
Exactly.
Clearly, I get it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's a being that it's weed, it's one thing. We'll say that part, but
Yeah.
that's a different scenario than the guy who got a zip on his way home,
Yep.
whatever, to meet with his wife,
Yeah.
and this guy's in jail. What?
No, I mean, I feel that resonates with me. Honestly, one of the reasons I moved to Las Vegas was because I had 3 weed charges back home in Kansas City, and it was 3 strikes, you're out. If I got caught one more time, I was looking at like mandatory jail time. And I was like, at that point, Colorado's already on board, Washington, you know, several medical markets were starting to pop up. And it was one of those things like, there's people making millions of dollars, you know, off of this plan. Like right now, like that's the beginning of that shift. And I'm like, am I really going to risk going to jail for this plant that I love, that makes me feel better, that improves my quality of life? You know, it's definitely that paradigm shift that we're still fighting for every single day in this industry, just to move the needle forward and get people to understand that it's like, you're right, that should not be a crime. Just being in possession of a plant that makes me feel better should not be a crime. And anyone who is rotting away in a jail cell for that is, mission critical, right?
Listen,
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is an American right. It's a plant. It's God's
Right.
plant. I mean,
100%.
we're not hurting people.
Yeah. This is a particularly tasty plant too.
Yes, it is.
Just the
That's
opposite.
Thank you.
We're helping people. The plant
Yes.
is helping people.
And coming from medical days, you felt it a little bit more on the day to day, you know, being boots on the ground at that point in time. It has, I don't want to say fallen off, you know, but as we've adopted more, you know, again, the recreational adult use 21 plus, unfortunately we've lost it, but it takes like one person, you know, you can see one customer, you know, that has some epic story. I know when we first opened up, formerly the Vegas Taste Room back in our old facility, we had, before the pandemic really set in too, when we were still operating those first 9 months there, we had someone come in that would literally right after they were done with chemotherapy, they would come to our lounge, they would take a dab, and you could see like their color change and their overall like quality of life just like literally change in front of your eyes, you know. And it was those little stories like that you're like, man, that's what keeps me here working in this industry this many years later. It's stories like that, the fact that we are helping people. So yeah, no, I appreciate that. And again, thanks for, you know, giving back and all the efforts you guys are doing to, again, just align yourself with excellence and just make sure that we're like, as we continue to steward the plant forward, we're also like leading by example,
Yes.
right? On what we feel like the plant really represents, right? So
Absolutely.
So the fact that you guys have been an OG in the cannabis space here in Nevada for as long as you have, what made you guys want to get into the retail space?
Kind of default, really.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It felt like natural progression. It felt like, let's have an outlet where we can, you know, also have a house brand.
Right.
You know, every vendor that we sell to, or a lot of them, have a house brand. You know, and it's special.
Yeah.
So, you know, the thought that we could have that, you know, more so to have the concentrates, you know, it was kind of a bundle deal.
I gotcha.
So
yeah.
it was a default. We got that asset or that control of that facility. You know, we're still dealing with that. So
How long has it been since you guys really kind of settled into that?
So that role, we've been about 8 months. It's
Oh,
been-
wow.
Yeah.
Not even a year yet. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure big learning curve, you know, especially coming from just the garden. But I think to your point, it is kind of, it feeds into itself, you know. I know that there's
We had to
several
make-
brands that
Yeah.
are on an island without it, right?
We had to make
Yeah.
you know, some changes of what the existing operations and facilities was, how they were operating and whatnot, and that took some time and you
Right.
know, quite a bit of work. And we're finally to the point now where we're happy with what's going on and gonna start producing the flower. Like I said, we had our first harvest, and it's gonna be special.
Very exciting.
100% went to fresh.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
I mean, hey, and we just sampled, you know what I mean, the future right here live on the podcast, which is again
buddy,
an
I
honor. Thank you
couldn't
for
be
sharing that.
happier about that rosin.
Yeah, no, it tastes
I
amazing.
swear to you, I
Fantastic.
feel absolutely
Yes.
Yeah.
crushed. I mean, I feel amazing.
Do you want to try that modified banana?
I'm gonna stick right.
Or
I'm gonna ride.
He's like,
this.
I'm where I want to be.
I'm
Right?
a-
There you go. Hell yeah.
thank you.
No, and
I'm so marvelous. It's
yeah. it's cool just to see the growth, because I remember when the acquisition first happened, we were talking in some of those meetings about, obviously extracts and some of the things coming down the pipeline. So it's cool to see it come from a conversation we're having in a meeting to like, look, it's on our table, it's real, it's in front of us right now, we're sampling it. I can only imagine how you guys feel considering all the work you guys have put into redefining the garden, the SOPs, everything you need to do to make that Nature's Chemistry product, and increase your offerings here too. Let's talk about these vape pens. So I'm seeing that these are all live rosin. I'm reading that right? So these are all solventless, or there's some resins on here too?
Solventless, high potency vape. This is the rosin.
Look at that hardware.
Yes.
Here's the
So this is one for here, right? So we're looking at jungle juice. That's got my attention right there. So we got a live rosin disposable. We got a 0.5 gram here. You got a nice caryophyllene profile. Look at that one, 27.68. We were just talking about that. Woo, that's a lung kicker right there. 18.61 milligrams per gram on the limonene and 12.31 on the humulene. Wow. And we're 1.1 on the CBGA, 1.99 on CBG, 76.64% THC. That's what I like to see in a vape, You see the numbers too high, like, especially if it's supposed to be solventless or some of the other one, it gets me a little suspect. Oh man, this is dangerous. This is one of these vapes that if I had this, I don't think it'd really leave my lips until it was gone,
Yeah. That one smacks.
I love the hardware. It's a nice, even draw. I'm seeing no postless, right? So probably less issues with clogging. There's that caryophyllene right there. Great flavor profile, though. Definitely can tell that's a rosin. You guys tried this one yet?
Yes.
Is this more of that NuWu?
Yes.
Okay, that's a hitter right there. Like I said,
that one's my favorite.
Woo! And I love the hardware. I love the design. I love how it's going to highlight your product. With vape pens are always harder because you don't have a lot of surface area to work with, and you don't want to redefine your brand or your logo or the things that people recognize in order to fit on, say, a vape pen. But this is nice. It gives you the surface area. It's already got the black and the green, so the white pops. Yep. I wouldn't lose this. Which I don't know about you guys. You guys lose a lot of vapes, or is this just me?
Nope.
Okay,
Good.
cool. I was about to say we're just weed heads being weed heads, right? Yeah.
I do lose them.
It's always like the center console, or it goes through the wash, and you're like, well, I'm never gonna try it now. I don't know. I think she's dead. Oh, am I just getting a live sampling here? What we got here?
This is a disposable.
So this is
high potency vape.
That there. I'm gonna just make sure I don't cross signals here. So Kush Mints. Oh my God, this is what I'm looking for. I'm a NuWu full right here. We got 5.41 milligrams per gram on the NuWu, 13.74 on the caryophyllene, and 5.52 on the limonene. Kush Mints. Oh, and this is a 0.8. So you guys are going to have different size options for this too, and this is still the solventless?
No.
This is the liquid diamonds.
Liquid diamonds.
Gotcha. Oh man, this is fun. I've never got to do this on the podcast before. I'm just sitting here getting to sample all my favorite products. This is cool. Lucky me.
Yes.
Oh, this tastes amazing, guys. Definitely, liquid diamonds is one of those things that you see in the vape world that is very popular. I'm not trying to disparage anyone, but I feel like there's varying degrees of quality, is what I'm saying, or kind of getting that extract flavor in the vape convenience and ease. I think you guys did a great job of that. This definitely tastes like I just did a dab, even though I had the convenience of hitting it right out of a vape pen. So
nice.
I could be hitting this inconspicuously in all the places I'm not supposed to, which I love personally. Cool, guys. So we're getting close here. We got to open up the lounge here. So I do have a few questions before we try these next ones. So let me load some of these up here before we try some of this next stuff. First of which being, I know we kind of started this here talking about the future and the extracts, and just what you guys have been working very hard and diligently for. But beyond that, is there any other things that you guys are working on behind the scenes that we can let our viewers know about?
I mean, we're still gonna look for innovative ways to express the plant.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
We're always looking for to improve the garden. Improved our genetic library's extent. Continue to fight for the plant and its rights. Getting people out of jail. Let's make that happen. What are we? President Obama said it. He said, "We are who we've been waiting for."
Wow.
So let's get people out of jail.
Yeah. You're right.
I mean,
Yeah.
if not now, when?
Yeah.
You know, doesn't make sense.
Yeah. No, I mean, and I can feel that from you guys here that's
Doesn't make sense.
mission critical, right? You know, like
Not with what all we're putting into this.
Mhm.
What we're paying back. We're millions of people employed in this industry,
Yeah.
strong
Yeah.
across the nation and growing in other states coming online all the time. We have more states now with some form of cannabis than not.
yeah, it's officially the minority if you're
It's-
one of those, right?
A
Which is
bizarre.
huge.
It's a bizarre
Yeah.
number, whether the state is medical or medical rec.
Yeah.
But
Still cannabis reform, yeah.
Yeah.
yes,
Step in the right
yes.
direction.
Absolutely.
Let's. I mean, to think that, you know, we even have challenges today, even trying to do legal banking. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
How's that possible? How? What?
Yeah, it does seem crazy, especially the more the industry matures, and with each passing year, and the more we have these stories, like when we're talking about 2015, 2016, you know, which again are just like, in my mind's eye, like stands out because it's so much different than it is now.
Oh, yeah.
So with each passing year and day, moment, hour, you know, it's like, how does this still make sense? How does this scale? How does that work? You know, you've been very outspoken on your opinion on banking, on cannabis banking. You know, what are your thoughts on the too long to read version of that? Huh?
I mean, here's the deal. We're transparent because we're paying federal tax. We're
Yeah.
not hiding anything.
Yeah.
We're trying to comply.
Right.
We're trying to comply. So help us comply.
Yeah.
Just help us comply.
Yeah. As long as there's any other industries
What's-
that have to abide by what we have to in that
Right.
regard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Have the Banking Reform Act. That should be passed the last administration.
Right.
Never mind this one.
Yeah. It
Okay,
does seem crazy.
then you guys get it passed. I don't care who gets it passed.
Yeah.
Pass it. You
Yeah.
know, we have to move on to the fact that the plant, you know, the government is benefiting so much from the plant
Yeah.
while punishing
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. No, you're right.
It's not right.
Yeah. It's definitely a little backhanded, you
It's-
know. But,
It's very, more so because the people are speaking. The
Bizarre.
country, across the country, we've had a green wave over, the last couple decades. It's coming. We want it. Each of your states are telling you that.
Yeah.
And you are ultimately own up to us. So we're telling you we want these changes.
Yeah.
Please oblige.
Yeah, we voice our opinion, like you're just saying. You know, at this point, if you are one of the people who advocates for cannabis, like you want to keep cannabis in its box, you are officially the minority. Like the people have spoken again the past 10, 15 years. Like we as a country have pretty much been very outspoken about this, and it does seem crazy that people are still getting arrested. And like you said, there's definitely a gray area when we're talking about state-to-state transport, but there's all these things that. I'm surprised, you know, again, as long as I've been in it myself and seeing all the changes and all the movement, like, okay, on the federal level, on the banking side of things, you know, like, when's something got to give, you know? Like, because we finally got moved from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. That was last year, maybe the year beforehand, right? But not very far out, you know? But it still feels kind of backhanded, even that. You're like, wait. That's what you guys did? Like that was the big move? Like
I mean,
I don't know.
listen, that move, okay, great. We get banking. So do something.
Yeah, do something.
Well, we got to take the small wins for now because it
Yeah,
is at least
do
a step in
something.
the right direction.
Yes.
Because
Yep.
now we can make a bigger step next time. But
Yeah.
to your point, it's
Yeah.
like we already know this is where it's going. Why are we delaying
Yeah.
or avoiding
Yeah.
the inevitable?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're saying with that great quote, we are the people we're waiting for, right? Let's do it, you know? Like stop talking about it, let's start being about it.
We are who we've been waiting for.
Yeah, that's exactly
We're
it, man.
here. Hey, we're here.
Yeah,
Let's okay. Well,
that's it.
let's get on then.
So I got two more loaded questions then. So, and I'm guessing we might already have answered them, but if you could influence any major cultural shift on cannabis, what would it be and why? Both you guys. Whoever wants to go first.
You go first. I got to think for a second.
I'm beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm-
because that is the big one.
That is the
It's-
big one.
It's not fair that we get to sit here and do this and we have no
You're right.
fear at all. But there are people who are, their entire lives
give
are
them their
destroyed
lives
by
back.
this.
My
Yeah.
God, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
Yeah.
You get one.
There
And
you go.
they've spent so much time, wasted because of something that they shouldn't have been
It's
punished
like everything.
Yeah.
Common sense reform. Can we have common sense?
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's what
Please.
we're all advocating for.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. So my second question would be, what would your advice be for the next generation of cannabis entrepreneurs?
Be very careful of your partners. Get quality people. Know and trust the people that you're going to do business with. You know, intimately, because it matters.
Yeah.
You know, do good business.
Yeah.
The best business is good business. You know, I give you a good product. You give it to the consumer. We do a transaction. We both benefit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The consumer benefits. We benefit. The government benefits. Everybody benefits. Let's do it. Just
Yeah.
Our relationships
Help us
especially benefit.
back-
You know,
Yeah.
when you do good business, we have great partners throughout this community, and the love that we get back from them just because we offer that. You know, we best foot forward for them. Our partnerships, our customer service to them, always again in every area striving for excellence, and so we get that love in return. Always, our partners are fantastic. We're very grateful for them, but. You know, that's having integrity in business and having a good business model at home is why we have those relationships. So, yeah, it's really important.
I mean, it takes a village. You know, we got to lift each other up. You know,
Definitely.
it's a small scene, and I know both you guys aren't strangers to that. You know, there's no point in pissing off your neighbor when you're gonna need his help here next month or whatever.
Buddy,
So we got to lift each other up.
we've had a fantastic relationship with NuWu, even in the old facility.
Yep.
I mean, you guys' growth, your guys' expansion has been marvelous.
And thanks for believing in us, because not everyone has, and
I mean,
the partnerships mean everything to us too, because we're not vertically integrated. This entire time since day one, October of 2017, has been because of our partners. So we want to try to make sure we're providing value, and again, lifting the people up who believe in us and believe in what we're doing, because again, we're not going anywhere. We're here for the long term, or for the long haul.
We're excited for you guys too.
That rosin's fucking hitting, guys. So
you're the example. You're the I mean, this facility, the grounds.
we take great pride in it. I mean,
what's happening aesthetically, how it's changing, and just improving and improving and improving.
yeah.
The vision Ethan, all of these people have. It's
Yeah, and shout out to the tribe for
The
believing
tribe,
in it, and
all you
really
guys.
just
Absolutely.
everybody, man.
letting
whole
us
team.
do what we're doing and continue to just spearhead and believe in the plant, and everything we've been saying. Should just believe that the change is now. So let's do it. So
Yeah,
this has been a really great episode, guys. I can't thank you enough for coming on the podcast, bringing all these amazing products, getting us all gassed up for some of the new stuff that's coming down the pipeline, because I can't wait to see the growth for you guys and just continue to see the growth, the change, the evolution, and I just want more of these boxes at home in my garage with everything else that I've got, So thank you guys for being on the podcast. Thank you guys for all the support.
God bless.
Tell them where they can find you guys online.
You can find us at natureschemistry.com. You can find us on IG as well. We have our website and we have an IG, and that would be natures.chemistry on IG.
Beautiful. So make sure you guys tap in all the channels. Make sure that you're following Nature's Chemistry. See what they got coming down the pipeline, and stay tuned for another one. So thank you guys again.
Thanks for having us.
That was the new.
A new IG.
By
Is that
the
what we're
way,
gonna say?
New IG, you guys get shut down?
Yeah, we
got
did.
shut down.
Yeah,
I feel
so
it,
it's
guys.
natures.chemistry.
That's what we started this. We started this today, right? We were like, man, I've cost the company a few Instagram handles, but it's been a long time, and I feel you guys on that one. So good luck on growing it back up, and
Thank
we'll
you.
collab on some posts for this one to try to blow it up. So
God bless, man.
awesome, guys. Well, thank you guys for coming on the
Thank
podcast.
you.
As always, guys, make sure you
Appreciate
tap in on all the channels. Follow NuWu LV on all of the channels, NuWu Sessions, and we'll see you on the next episode of NuWu Sessions podcast. We out. Guys, that was a lot of fun. I'm high as hell.